And I've got my shadow in there. I knew I'd get in there somehow. Mace didn't have any hair as a baby. He just was bald for a long, long time. He had nice little light-colored fur. And then finally, when he was a year old, about the time he was a year old, he had this little bunch that came right down the middle of his forehead like that. That's just the way it grew for a long time. I didn't have to do anything to it. I have to put another picture that Monty took in between this so we won't forget that we're telling the story of the pictures that Monty took. This is the one from straight on from the east. And what amazes me are those are the same shingles that was on there all those years ago. And still in good condition. This is Mace standing in the same doorway. And you can see how the door was made. And he's almost 2 years old here, and you can see his hair's grown in a little bit more. And that was my first attempt at knitting. Margaret taught me how to knit, and I made him that little romper suit. Made Mammy happy because he had rompers. And that's about all I know about that picture. I don't think this is our little log cabin from the east in the morning, and you can see that there was a window here, and this is the back door into the kitchen, the built-on lean kitchen, and see how high our stovepipe was so that everything would be safe. We had a lot of wind up there. Had to be careful of fire. And back in here is chicken coop and rabbit pens, and the only horse that they'd let Mace ride those days was this one, the broom. But Mace decided he had to be like everybody else and get in his day's work. And John had all of these back here, John's rabbit pens, and the chicken coop was down there. So he's taken my fire shovel, and he's going to go down there and clean rabbit pens. He always did help John, but this time he's doing it by himself. Well, he casts a long shadow. This is Mace standing up in his grandmother's yard, eating. Grandma always fed him something good to eat. And this is the walk from her house out to her gate, and there's where I lived, right there. That's all the further we lived away. And you will notice the old car and the old pickups back in there. They were kind of old then, so I don't know what year they were. And this building back over in here was the bunkhouse where the hired men stayed. And further on over towards the left, way out of the pictures, where the boss had his hog pens. He always had lots of pigs, and that's where Vance and I Mace and I like to go and play with the pigs. Oh, I want to see him so